This is day 2 of my 90 days challenge learning Korean. The aim is 1,000 words over the course of 90 days. I'm not a full beginner. Maybe I'm intermediate, but I've never really focused on vocabulary. So I kind of cheat because, like, I learned English as a second language and I had good practice with English and Spanish back then. And now I tend to paraphrase a lot of stuff and always find a way to express what I want, even with few words. So with Korean, it was through using, I don't know, maybe 10 grammars. And I was able, with little grammar in the end and little vocabulary, to sometimes run a date with a Korean girl. And so now I don't even know my real level, but I really want to push the level forward, adding much, much, much more vocabulary. And this is what we're going to do together. So if you're curious about the way I'm going to learn, every day I'm going to show you exactly my process. And today's video is about curiosity being your main motivation with this new learning method. So let's see. Usually, what I will want to do every day is start by learning my vocabulary in the Amgi app, which is a flashcard app connected to ChatGPT directly. This is the way I'm going to learn every day. Right now, I only have one card, which was just for demo yesterday. You can check the yesterday live where I was presenting the whole method on the channel, obviously. But let's have a quick recap of what I said yesterday, and then we will learn Korean together with ChatGPT and Amgi. So how do you learn Korean efficiently nowadays? After years away from Korean, and because I started like in 2025, so now it's been like 10 years. Oh, sorry, I started in 2015 when I was 25, and now we're in late 2025, so it's been 10 years I actually kind of stopped. I mean, back then it was for 3 years, maybe I studied, but on and off all the time. And so I arrived there in late 2025. I realized there is still no truly new methods like Talk to Me in Korean, Duolingo, Anki, Quizlet, all the previous stuff. And I didn't want to go through the same as I had been through, like with textbooks, making my own flashcards again, or going through repetitive drills with Duolingo, very, very slow, like very, very slow learning. I'd rather have like small bursts of few months of learning where I feel like I'm really making progress. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do with me today. And so I realized that very quickly, whatever I was doing to learn, I was always using ChatGPT anyway, sending screenshots, asking for nuance, asking for whatever is the idiomatic way of speaking, etc., etc. But very quickly, I also realized that this was not feasible in the long term, because all the questions I asked just disappear after I can't study them again. And you know how forgetful we are when we learn a language. So I thought, what if I could save stuff directly from ChatGPT? What if ChatGPT could know what I studied? And so Amgi arrived there, and I built this app that you can see here, which basically is just a flashcard app, but the beauty is it's directly tied to ChatGPT in such a way that ChatGPT knows what I'm studying right now. And so that's the whole idea, to speak with ChatGPT who knows what I'm doing. And so whatever I do with it, it will give me sentences that make sense and not, it will be contextual to my own learning, and that's what matters here. So Yeah, I'm testing my own method. I spent several weeks and months building this, thinking it out, and I even uh, regrouped 1,000 words, uh, the most frequent Korean words, just so I have a track to follow the days where I don't have questions to ask or I don't know. And so it's going to be just me and ChatGPT and you guys, if you want to follow, that will be studying Korean. And so the beauty of using ChatGPT is even if you don't understand everything I'm going to ask to ChatGPT, um, well, you just have to do your own thing. I will show you the right questions, and possibly I will give you insights on how you can use ChatGPT to learn and how to connect with Amgi. And then it's just you and yourself and your own learning and whatever else you want to do, like Duolingo, um, classes, private lessons, everything will be fine as long as you use ChatGPT and Amgi as a complement. So let's go with it. So the first card I have is something I saved yesterday, and it's how you say because or since when you want to give a reason for um, the when you're actually explaining that this is the reason why you did something. So, for instance, I could say um, 배고 배고프니까 배고프니까 what did I do because I was hungry? 배고프니까 피곤했어. So it's just like because I was hungry, I was tired, and so I'm giving um, the reason why I'm tired. And so I can check that the answer is here. This is obviously something I really know, so I will mark it as mastered this one because it was just for demo last time. And so I mark it as mastered in the app, and it just goes off, and I can only find it in the manage tab as something I mastered. And so as you can see here, ChatGPT already put like tags back then when it saved it. It said it's a grammar conjunction, giving a reason, whatever. For now, tags I didn't implement so much. Okay, so let's learn. We go into our custom GPT, Amgi. And yeah, guys, let's be patient with me. It's the first time I'm doing this live, so hopefully it will be dynamic enough. I don't know. Just a quick note. I'm using the Korean keyboard with stickers, so if you want to learn Korean, I really recommend, if you're a beginner, that you first learn Hangul very fast. It's very easy, so don't try to go around it, just to learn it. It's fine. It takes a few hours. It's so logical. Everything is so logical. See, you're going to type stuff, and it's all very clean, like bars, horizontal bars, vertical bars, and then you combine them and everything. So I will type directly on the keyboard so I don't waste time, but you can also have a Korean keyboard on your phone, and it makes it even easier because then you can really type Korean directly on your phone if you want to learn with ChatGPT on your phone. But because I'm doing this live, I'm using my laptop, and I have the stickers just for this. Yes, so let's go. What is something I'd like to say today? Let's say, okay, how would I say, I'm really impressed by artists who finally succeed after so much effort. Obviously, it's kind of a complex sentence, But the beautiful thing is you can try to say whatever you want and learn from it. So I'm really not sure what I would say for this, even though I would consider myself intermediate right now. There are many words here that I'm not sure I would know. So let's try to say this. I don't know how to say an artist. Finally, I will say Görgük. So we'll have Görgük. We will use Görgük. Sorry for my accent because I'm switching between English and Korean right now. It's not so good. Görgük. Succeed, we will try 성공, I think. Maybe I'm mistaken. 성공. We'll see what ChatGPT says about this. I think effort is 능력. 능력. After, so it's a 후에. I think it's the best we have. So here I'm only trying to speak Banmal Korean, by the way. So I'm really practicing like speaking with friends, speaking with a girlfriend, speaking with groups, or casual daily talk. Everything that is kind of polite or honorific, I mean, it just adds a bit of complexity, but it's not so hard either to just add yo at the end to start with. And if you just remove this complexity to start with, I think as a beginner, it's much more simple and you will live along much better probably. Really, we have 정말, obviously, 정말. So for now, I'm just noting down the words. Impressed, I don't know, and artist, I don't know. I know how to say composer. I know how to say a drawing, like 그림. But someone who draws for a living, I don't know. Okay, so let's try with this first. 결국 성공하다, I guess. 성공하는 사람. Let's just say 사람 for now. You know, like if I can't say an artist, I would just say a person. 결국 성공하는 사람. 결국 능력. So after so much, 능력 많은. So a lot. 많은 후에. 능력 많은 후에. 결국 능력 많은 후에 결국 성공하는 사람. So supposedly you would say but orally you don't really use it. 사람 정말. And so you see in Korean, you can simplify everything you want to say. So here we have quite a difficult sentence with vocabulary that is a bit, I don't know, B1 or B2, you know, like impress, artist. This is kind of advanced, but you can always say stuff in a more easeful way in Korean because people are very simple people, in my opinion. So you don't need to make it so, to make such a literal translation. But let's see. 능력 많은 후에. It's a bit weird to have 결국 here. 능력 많은 후에 결국 maybe it works. 성공하는 사람 정말 좋아해. So I could say just I like them rather than I'm impressed, because I'm missing 좋아해. So I could say 나는, just to make sure who it is speaking. 나는 능력 많은 후에 결국 성공하는 사람 정말 좋아해. And I will say to ChatGPT, I don't know how to say impressed here. And artist either. What do you think of this sentence I tried? And let's go. So let's fit it up so it sounds natural and really capture the meaning you want. Your sentence. Here's what's going on. 능력 많은 후에 doesn't work. Sounds like after being talented, which isn't what you mean. 능력 많다, it means because 능력 is not what I thought. It's not effort. It's not effort. Maybe it was 노력. Oh yeah, 노력. Okay, so 노력 was the right word, not 능력. So 능력 is the capacity for something, and 노력 is the effort. Impressed by is more like 감탄하다. 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 Okay. Artist in Korean can be 예술. 예술 is art. I forgot about this. 예술 is art. So 예술가 is a person who does art, basically. It's so interesting. I fucking love it. 예술가, artiste. Okay, so this is the easy version. I didn't think about that. Wow. I could have tried, yeah, the simple English version. Artiste. Or even 작가. Yeah, usually it ends with 가 because it's a person. And I knew composer 작곡가, so I'm a bit surprised that 작가 and 작곡가 are so close. So I will ask this question. I'm just going to note down some questions first, and then we will go through this. My new composer is, let's say, 작가. 작곡가, sorry. 작곡가. How come it's so close to artist? Curious about this. 예술가 is fine. The natural version would be 나는 오랜. So efforts that took a long time. No, 오랜 노력, and not 노력 많은. We need to ask whether 노력 많은 would work. Would 노력 많은 예술가 work? I'm curious about that, because 오랜 means really like it lasted a long time, and so there's a bit less the feeling of, you know, the repeatedness of the efforts. So that's because it's like 노력 is just one big effort, and what I wanted to say is there were many efforts to be made. So I'm going to say this too. Feels like when you say 오랜, when you say 오랜, it's just one long effort and not repeated efforts. What do you think? So that's interesting, right? 그때 rather than 결국. No, 결국 is here too. 그때 결국 성공. So 성공 was right. 성공한. 아티스트들 보면 if I see 진짜 간단해. It's interesting that you have to add 보면 진짜 간단해. Okay, breakdown. 오랜 노력 그때 오랜 노력 그때 after a long time of effort. 그때 so what I'm not sure about the kute here. Because kut means and, so it's like it's replacing hue. Okay, interesting. So kute here is replacing hue. I have never heard of this. So kute is replacing hue. Can you explain why? Is it because of what we used before? Or is it just more oral / banal? Okay, 간단해. So we learned a lot here. And yes, so the natural translation of English would be, I'm really impressed when I see artists finally make it after years of effort. Alternative tone, a bit softer. 열심히. Yeah, so 열심히 is really a common one. 열심히 하다가 결국 성공한 사람들 보면 진짜 대단한 것 같다. 대단하다 means amazing. 대단한 것 같다. So between the two, let's see. And what would be the most Korean / idiomatic way of saying it? So we learned a lot of words and structures here. If you're a beginner, don't be scared. As you can see, it's something you can do by yourself and asking the sentences you need. And I'm here to show you how you can learn. And I'm really curious about what's going to happen after 90 days of this. And so here, just because we have Amgi connected, our custom GPT Amgi K trainer suggests flashcards to save. So either I can save these ones, or I can make my own, depending on ChatGPT's answers here. I will first go further with my questions. So 작곡가 versus 예술가. Why so close? 예술가 means art person. So as I said, 예술 is art. So it's art is in the broad sense. So it could be a painter, a dancer, a singer. 작곡가 means music writing person. So we still have the ka at the end. So as you may know or may not know, Korean was spoken with Chinese characters, written with Chinese characters originally, although they were a separate language. So there's a lot of, it's like Latin for Spanish and French. There's a lot of root in Chinese character, and here we can see same character for person twice. So yeah. And so art person 예술, 작곡. What I was asking was 작가. Well, 작가 is a writer, so it's not really an artist. So that's 화가, a painter. 작가, a writer. 음악가, a musician. Okay. Okay, so let's not get too confused here about this. So yeah, 예술가, 작곡가, 화가, 작가, share the same ga. I was more curious about the jak in common, but you know what? I will forget it for now. Oh no, I know why, because jak is writing. We have our explanation. So 작가 is the same jak as in music writing person, just that there's book for music on top of it. So that's why. Okay. It didn't make sense that he gave me 작가 as, you know, an artist. 작가 is not an artist in this sense. It was like a specific kind of art, which is writing. So yeah, many things here to learn. I will not save writer and everything for now. It's a bit too specific for me, and there's so much more to learn. 노력 많은 예술가 sounds off. It's understandable, but 노력 많은 doesn't sound natural in Korean. You can say 노력하는 예술가 or 노력가. But 노력 많은 feels awkward, like saying effort-rich artist. Okay, effort-rich artist doesn't make sense for sure. So in the end, it's kind of like English. We don't say someone puts many efforts, right? You don't put many efforts in doing something. You put a lot of effort and there's a single effort. So if you want to say like there's that, like the nuance of there are many repeated efforts behind it, you don't even do it in English. So maybe the question was kind of bad for me. So yeah, let's just go for there's just one big 노력. So you could say 열심히 노력하는 예술가. So 열심히 means doing with a lot of effort, basically. I think it's the literal translation of 열심히. 열심히 하다, doing effortfully, kind of. 열심히 노력하는 예술가. 노력 끝에 성공하는 예술가. After much effort. So 끝에 kind of feels like the effort is finished, and we'll see what it says about 끝에 versus 후에. Both mean after, but they carry different feelings. 후에 is after, it's neutral and chronological. It marks time and order after something happened. So can we really say that the effort happened and then we succeed? It's rather indeed as a result of effort and not the chronological after effort, right? It's not like there is effort chronologically and then you succeed. It's emphasis on the result of the effort. So that's why you would say 끝에. So let's see the two example sentences here. 오랜 노력 후에 오랜 노력 후에 성공했다. 오랜 노력 후에 성공했다. After a long time of effort, they succeeded. So it seems to work, basically. They succeeded. Okay, factual. 오랜 노력 후에 성공했다. It's factual. 오랜 노력 끝에 성공했다. After much effort, finally. Yeah, finally, there's the notion of finally. They succeeded, more emotional and natural. It implies finally at the end of a long journey, which fits your original feeling. That's why Koreans use it more naturally in this kind of sentence, not because of formality or banal, because it's nuance. And yeah, nuance matters a lot when you learn the language, right? So we can speak like this, but we will not be putting emphasis where we would naturally in our own language. Also, kute is kind of natural. It's not hard to learn this one. I mean, to understand that it's at the end of something. I just never used it, so though I spoke a lot already, I'm not sure I even heard it in my conversations yet. Okay, Olen and repeated effort. So yeah, Olen 노력 implies persistence, as I was saying. Koreans interpret long effort as effort made over a long period, so it naturally carries that continuous repeated sense. If you really wanted to emphasize repetition, you could say 계속 노력하다가 결국 성공한 아티스트들 보면 감탄해. Okay, yeah, so we will see the grammar daga another time because I'm not absolutely sure myself what it means. I think it carries the same sense as after doing, but in the grammar itself. So because here basically you have like noyokute to say after effort, but here it's like you transform nolyok in a verb, so nolyok and then daga carries the sense of after it. So with this one step first and then the second coming after. So 계속 노력하다가 결국 성공한 아티스트들 보면 감탄해. If you're with me, you can train reading with me or listening as I speak, I guess. Hopefully this will help as well. So between the two, the first one is 열심히 하다가 결국 성공한 사람들 보면 진짜 대단한 것 같다. Very spoken, natural, soft. Something you'd say in every talk. A little more refined and expressive is 나는 오랜 노력 끝에 결국 성공하는 아티스트들 보면 진짜 감탄해. Feels more like a reflective statement or interview. So yeah, it's a bit less natural in that sense, I guess. People will rather go with 대단한 것 같다 to say it's amazing, it looks amazing. 오랜 노력 끝에 성공한 사람들 보면 진짜 감탄돼. Okay, so we learned a lot here. What are we going to save to remember tomorrow? That's the very important question. Because right now, what would we remember here from all of this? Let's save these flashcards. One, I want to remember that an artist is Yesupa, the general artist. Let's say artist, general, general sense. Dance, what else? Dance, writing, drawing. And okay, I will let it. ChatGPT will fill the blank, like it will create the actual flashcard with the right word. I don't need to put everything. I will still, because we have two words, I want to save both in one. So we'll see. Oops, sorry, this is not the right one. We'll take this one and this one, okay? Two, I'm not going to save all the rest here. 오랜 노력 끝에, I like this one, though it's not the most idiomatic here, because it's more like 노력하다가, right? That's what he said. 노력하다가. No, 열심히 하다가. But 노력하다가 was used as well. We're going to save this whole sentence. So we'll see tomorrow what I remember about the original sentence I wanted to learn or say. So the most idiomatic for ChatGPT is 열심히 하다가 결국 성공한 사람들 보면 진짜 대단한 것 같다. We can save 대단하다 on its own because oops. 대단하다, amazing. So gemtanhe or gemtandue is still, I think, an interesting one to know. So to be amazed, right? If you don't know the word, like it's the kind of word you want to know, and maybe because you know it, you will not use it because you will feel like, okay, here it's a bit too much. I don't need to use it, and I can just say, okay, 대단한 것 같다, or 대단하다. But sometimes just because you don't know the word for something, you block on it, right? You're like, oh yeah, wait, I knew the word to be impressed. What is it already? Turns out most of the time you can use an easier version of the sentence and it works just fine, and people just talk like this at the end of the day. But we're here to learn, so let's learn stuff. 감탄하다. What's interesting is like the 사람들 보면 and not 사람을 대단하다. I still want to know something like, wait, I'm going to say first and then I have all the questions. So the suggested flashcard from ChatGPT was all of this 오랜 노력 끝에 okay, subsequent questions. Any reason why you use 사람 and not artist in the final sentence? Like people wouldn't use the word? Feels weird, right? Because I said specifically artist though, but maybe it lost track of this. So it seems it's more like gentandueda. Gentandue, 진짜 gentandue. So it's more like gentandueda to be impressed. We will try these words in different settings just right now, right after. I think it's really interesting. Just to push it further and make sure we understand their use. I want something with kute because this was an interesting one to learn. Yeah, kute. Let's save kute and we'll see. Kute. What other question do I have? Yeah, I just want to try one thing before we do this. I want to say, Well, I forgot right now. So let's just go for this. So the answer is I'm just going to say yes for the saving first. So the saving I asked earlier. It's going to call Amgi anytime soon. We connect. So it's a Gmail account that I use. It would ask you if you connect to this custom GPT. It would ask you your Google account, like with the usual account selector, and then you would choose it, and then you can connect, and then you would use the same account here in Amgi.app. Okay, so it saved these flashcards. See, it's here. Yes, we got. It's all good for tomorrow learning session or studying session rather. Okay, so what did it say on why 사람들 instead of 아티스트들? So technically you can say 열심히 하다가 결국 성공한 아티스트들 보면 진짜 대단한 것 같다. It's grammatically perfect and makes total sense, but native speakers often say 사람들 instead of repeating a specific group name. Yeah, so we can totally say 열심히 하다가 결국 성공한 아티스트들을 보면 진짜 대단한 것 같다. Yeah, I think it's just the same nuance as in English. If I wanted to say specifically artist, I would say specifically artist. There's no reason not to. It's just the kind of weird thing sometimes ChatGPT introduces and makes you a bit doubt whether it uses this for a very specific reason or just because it's more simple. So yeah, we learned all this today. Would we consider it enough for the day? No. Let's try another sentence, right? So tomorrow I will study this 5, but that's not a lot for a single day, right? If I want 1,000 words in 90 days, I would need more than 10 every day. So it's a bit late today. It's like 11 p.m. already here in Paris, but let's go for another sentence to study. And maybe I'll go a bit faster this time on the words that I will say from it. Okay, I'm going to try to make the sentence a bit more complex, but the first idea is like I see my umbrella and I think, okay, I lended my umbrella to somebody and I'm not sure I'm going to see it again. So I lended my umbrella to somebody 2 months ago. Let's add a bit of structure here. And if I'm not sure, I will see it again. The person tends to lose stuff. Okay. what would be interesting in terms of grammar is say, as I see my umbrella next to me. It's a bit complex, right? But it's just to practice a bit of grammar and see um, um, what kind of word we need for this. And so once again, if you're a beginner, it might feel overwhelming. Even for me, it's a bit overwhelming, obviously. But sometimes just the fact of seeing words, specific words, or remembering that you've already encountered a similar thing, like somebody using a word, you may remember faster. It gives context to your memory. So I wouldn't say it's useless. I realize, so as I see my umbrella next to me, I realize I landed one to somebody. Same, etc. Same idea, just more grammar. Let's go over these sentences. So how would we say this? Let's go with the same structure as we did just before. So usan for the umbrella, if you don't know, usan. Someone will be either saram again, and otherwise 아니면은 누군지. I'm not sure we will use this, but 누구, when you ask the question about someone, 누구, would we use this here? 누군지한테, because it's kind of maybe 누군지한테 would make sense here. I'm not sure. 누군지한테 빌려 for lending, 빌려줘, 줬어, because so I think 빌리다 is to I'm struggling with the English here. So to lend to someone, I think it's 빌려주다, and because 빌리다 would be the fact of receiving the counterpart, rather, I think. We'll see. So 빌려주다. 2 months ago, 두 달 전에. I'm writing it just to make sure we have it right, but basically it's the number 2, right? 2달 전에 또 we'll use 또 뭘지? 뭘지? 잘 몰라. I'm not sure. I would say it again. I would say it's the easy way of saying it. And the person tends to lose stuff. 그 사람은 많이 잊어버려. We could say forgets a lot. It's not the same. 잊어버리다 is forgetting. Maybe it's just 잊다. 그 사람은 많이 잊어. We'll see if it's this or not. 많이 잊어. I'm pretty sure it's not it, but we'll see. Okay, so let's actually make the sentence. So let's say 나는 2달 전에 Oops, sorry. What am I doing? Oh no! What happened? No! I lost ChatGPT. I made a wrong. No way! Okay, I didn't lose it. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh. What am I doing? Okay, we're here. I don't know why it does this, but okay, whatever I do, it does it like this. Let's see if I do it here and I copy paste and I do it again. Okay, no. Okay, 나는 우선 나는 2달 전에 글쎄 두 달 전에 나는 2달 전에 울산 누군지한테 okay, let's try 누군지한테 나는 2달 전에 누군지한테 우산 빌려줬는데 so just to have like this I will just say this in English just that position of sentence the glue between the two sentences so 우산 빌려줬는데 I'm sure it's not 누군지한테, but I want ChatGPT to tell me it's not. So I learned from mistakes. 나는 두 달 전에 누군지한테 우산 빌려줬는데 또 뭘지 잘 몰라. So at the start of the video we had Nika, so we can use Nika here probably. 그 사람은 많이 잊으니까. We can try this and we'll see what ChatGPT says. Maybe it is wrong, but the Nika use will be right here. So as you can see, I'm really trying to make the sentences myself with the words I know already, because in my opinion, this is really the best way to learn. There's no better way to learn. There's no use trying any other way to learn. If it feels like effort, just use ChatGPT like this at your own level with your own attempts, and it's fine. There is no one judging you, really. Your version. I totally get what you meant, and it's quite close. So this is good news, right? Here's what a native would say naturally. 전에 누군가. 누군가. I was not so far away. 누군가. So this is the way of saying somebody. 누군지 was wrong, but I was close. 누군가한테 우산 빌려줬는데. So this was right. 다시 볼 수 있을지 모르겠어. 볼 수 있을지 means the capacity of seeing it again. I'm a bit surprised that I need to use 볼 수 있다 for this. 그 사람은 물건 자주 잃어. 있다 is more like forgetting, but 잃다 for losing. 잃어버리거든. 버리거든 rather than 버리니까. Okay, we will not go into this grammar right now, but apparently we had a better way of saying because. It's the same because. It's very close. There are multiple ones. It's usually just the nuance that's different. 2달 전에 누군가한테 우산 빌려줬는데 다시 볼 수 있을지 모르겠어. I'm not sure why we would use dashi rather than to. I'm really not sure about that. So 물건 means thing here. 사람은 물건 자주 잃어버리다 거든. English meaning okay. I'm confused about a few things. Why dashi instead of to? Any real good reason here? Is one more frequent? Is one not usable here for some reason? Okay, I want to save 누군가 or 누군가한테. So it's already here. 누군가한테 save 누군가한테. 2달 전에 is fine for me. You can save it, guys, if you want. You go into the Amgi K-Trainer Banmal. The link is in the description normally, and you just type whatever you want. You ask to add as a flashcard, and then you can study tomorrow. Okay, and the second thing was, why would we need to say 볼 수 있을지, like I will be able to see, rather than just 볼지. 모르겠어. 있을지 모르겠어. So this is really like, it's true, it's very natural Korean, and my version was much more direct because Koreans would say 모르겠어, even if they could say 몰라, right? It's just 겠어 means I wouldn't know. It's like I would know rather than I don't know. But they would rather say I wouldn't know more often. I already explained first that it is for possibility. Oh, so because it was not sure, I had to put 수 있을지. It's related to possibility. 또 뭔지 잘 몰라. Off rhythm. So off rhythm, I'm not sure I get the comments, so I will not take it. Let's ask still. No, I'm sorry. Off rhythm. What do you mean? Save. I want to save. 잃어버리. 잃어버리다. Let's go. So we saved 2 new flashcards. So I'm not reaching my 10 for the day, but it's been a long session already. So, and we've seen a lot. There's a lot of other stuff than vocabulary apparently. So yeah, obviously we will be facing grammar questions and nuances and ways of shaping your sentence. So yeah, 2 new saved, and so why dashi rather than to? Both mean again, but different vibes. Again, in a repeated or return to a previous state. Oh, so that's very interesting. So to is more like something happening repeatedly, and dashi is more like something returning, something happening again. Oh, okay. It's true that to, when they say to, like you can hear it maybe in dramas, or somebody would just say to, it's like, oh, you did it again. And so with this nuance of, oh, you did it once, or maybe 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and you did it again, so the 5th time. Okay, final thing, or almost, is Bolshoi versus Olchi. So to bolji 잘 몰라. So to is not really right here. So dashi bolji 잘 몰라 would have been better. And it says it's slightly incomplete, a bit bare. I don't know if I will be able to see it again. So even in English, we have the nuance, right? I don't know if I'll see it again. I don't know if I'll be able to see it again. The possibility could be added, but it's not clear for me, but it does feel more Korean to this, to say this. Korean sentences have a kind of musical timing, short, long, rising, falling sounds. I'm not sure I'm interested in the musicality of Korean so far. It might be too complex. I'm not even sure if it's a thing. Feels a little too choppy or good in the middle of a natural sentence. Flows like that. It feels like short, long, and it's too fast. Okay, whatever for this. Honestly, I think we don't care. Especially as a foreigner, you would be allowed to speak like this. But probably 다시 볼지 잘 몰라, 다시 볼지 잘 몰라, would be more appropriate than 또. Let's just save this one last. And we can see here what it tries to learn to save from dashi versus to dashi again, to repeated additional occurrence. So yeah, dashi was really the one to use here. Okay, before we end, let's try to go over these for today. Are they in the chill mode or no? No, they're not. They will be tomorrow. So artist, general sense. So we said 예술가 or artiste. Is it right? 예술가, artiste. So this is okay for now. Tomorrow we'll see. When I see people who work hard and finally succeed, I think they're amazing. Okay, so this is the big one. 열심히 노력하다가 성공하는 사람, 결국 성공하는 사람. Okay, let's go again. 열심히 노력하다가 결국 성공하는 사람 보면 대단한 것 같다. 아니면 we could say 감탄돼. 진짜 감탄돼. I feel really impressed. 열심히 하다가 결국 성공한 사람들 보면 진짜 대단한 것 같다. Oh, that was pretty good, right? Okay, then English. To be amazing, great, impressive. So 대단하다. So that's what we just had. So this is one that's good. To be impressed, to admire. So 감탄되다 or 감탄하다. Be impressed, to admire. Okay, to admire is passive, is the 감탄되다. Okay. Okay. What else? At the end of. So that's 끝에. And that's 후에, right? No. At the end of, as a result of something, is just 끝에 alone. 끝에. As a result of something. I'm really curious about tomorrow because right now it's easy. To someone. 누군가한테. Okay. I'm pretty sure. To lose something completely. 잃어버리다. Okay. What else? Okay, this one is not good, right? Because it gave me Korean, so I'm going to change it right away. Where is it? It's here. Sometimes it does this. I will try to fix this. Okay, save changes. And let's go back here. So again, returning to previous state. So that's dashi. And again, repeated or additional occurrence. This is to. Perfect. And so yeah, we're done. We saw all of them, right? 예술가, the sentence, 끝에 대단하다. Question is, how much of this will I remember tomorrow? And so that's about what, eight words for today, like 8 cards. Some has one of them, so this card is about how you shape the sentence with like the overall rhythm and everything, and the other ones are actual vocabulary vocabulary words. So one last thing we can do before I go to bed is I could take Gamtan here to be impressed, and I could go, so this is, I think this is public, you can access it. We go in our vocab explorer, and we have Gamtan. And as you can see, Gamtan for admiration, the frequency is 6. In Gamtan Hada, the frequency is 4. So as you can see from this, so what we just learned was B2 level. That's what I was curious about. And Gamtan Hada is more like formal, apparently. So it goes in the sense of what ChatGPT said earlier, that people would rather say Dedan Hada. Like they feel it's amazing. They would not say so much that they admire in this way. So I'm just going to ask this question last. Is marked as written with low frequency in my vocabulary list? Is there a better way of saying that you admire someone in everyday life? Because admire is quite normal in English, or to be impressed, because admire / to be impressed is quite common in English though. So I'm a bit surprised. What do you think? The Gamtanada is something you'd hear in interviews, essays, or narration. So Gamtanada literally means to express admiration. So it's closer to marvel in English. You'll see it in written context like Ye Yung Ye Gamtan Hetta. I admire this courage. 정말 감탄스러웠다. It was truly admirable. Okay, like in a review. So 감탄돼 is less formal than 감탄하다. So that's a curious thing. So what do people actually say in life? 대단하다. So 대단하다 is not only amazing, but also impressive. So did we have this here in our words? 감탄되다, to be impressed. And we had 대단하다, great, impressive. To be amazing, great, impressive. So impressive was part of it. 멋있다, that's true, they say this a lot. 존경하다. 존경하다, respect, admire deeply. 부럽다, jealous in a good way. 부러워, friendly admiration. Wow, I wish I could do that. 부러워, 부럽다. I've heard this a lot. 감탄돼. So you would say 감탄돼, not 감탄하다. And we say 감탄되다, which is good. Okay, that's perfect, right? We have a lot of nuances. I don't need to save these ones for now. 대단하다 is saved. 멋있다 is very common. You will see it a lot. That's definitely some that you should learn if you don't know it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for the review of the cards and for more training.